All right, sounds good. I have to go put my contact back in that fell out.
I got to go restock up on Mountain Dew and hurry and scarf down some vegetables and some boiled chicken or whatever the crap I'm having tonight.
Hell yeah. All right, we'll be back.
Okay. All right, we're from our break. Yeah, sorry about that. Just had some time conflicts between a few of our guests, and I had to eat some dinner real quick, but it's good stuff. How you doing, Marsh?
I am from the 30 minutes ago that we were talking. I am doing just very, very well, and we're about to end this episode, this great episode, on a great note. We have our third guest coming on. We got John Michaels coming on, so let's get him. Let's ring him up, Jordan.
All right, calling him now.
Hello. What's up?
John, how you doing, brother?
John?
What's up, man? Doing good. How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. So we now welcome on a friend of mine and just a good guy on the timeline. He's a pretty much a celebrity. We got John Michaels joining us right now on the Forza podcast. He's a host for SB Nation Radio, host on 680 The Fan in Atlanta. He's also a writer for State of You, like me. John, thank you so much for coming on the show on such short notice.
Oh, anytime. I figured, look, we're quarantined. We can't go outside. I joke because I just got home from the gym. But I figured with all this going on, what better place to go? I told you from day one, man, your podcast was really well done. I enjoyed it. And I said, you know what? Let's grace the airwaves with some good Canes talk here on a Thursday night.
Hell yes. I love it, bro. I love it. Well, let's get into Canes, man. You and I we met briefly at the Miami, Florida Friday night party or whatever like that. But, everyone knows you, you're a big Canes fan and, you've supported the program for a long time. Spring practice or week 1 of spring practice just wrapped up. No idea when the hell week 2 will be. But what were your thoughts, some of the takeaways you had from week 1 at Green Tree?
I mean, it's tough to, and I get into this all the time with people. It's tough to really disseminate a huge amount from spring practice because, we're always going to hear the good side of things. But what I liked more than anything, and not to buy in and go crazy and bananas, was the fact that for the first time in a long time, it seems like there was accountability, but there was continuity on the staff. I never felt that way last year, even when they hired Dan Enos, that there was true continuity between what Dan Enos wanted to do and what Manny Diaz was trying to accomplish. Because I think back to Manny's statement when they were looking for an offensive coordinator, about a calendar year ago, I guess a little more than a calendar year ago now. And he said, I want to be cutting edge. I want to be innovative. And then you watch Dan Enos's antiquated, awful, slow-paced 1975 pro-style offense. And I said, this isn't cutting edge and this isn't innovative. So and I was a guy that banged on Manny a lot. People have probably heard me on Hockman and Crowder a bunch on 560 throughout the year. And I crapped on Manny because I thought what he did last year was horrible. And it didn't look like the Miami program I grew up with. But what you see in spring practice, or at least what we've heard in some of the videos, he brought in like-minded individuals. Garen Justice on the offensive line sounds like a coach that's going to get the best out of these kids. Rhett Lashley, we should have been running this offense for a decade. The fact that the University of Miami has waited till 2020 to go up-tempo spread in an era of 7-on-7 football, in an era of speed. I mean, it's always been an era of speed. I grew up in South Florida. I know what that speed's all about. And we're just now doing that in 2020. I hated that we went 6-7 a year ago. Trust me, I was devastated at the Florida game. I was, distraught after the FIU game, the Louisiana Tech game. I didn't even take off work because I didn't give a damn about the game. But I come into now and I go, let's get this stupid virus out of the way because I'm ready to kick Temple's ass in about 3 or 4 months.
Let's go!
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. We got we got ties to Temple now, with Manny Diaz, their former coach, Coach Feely's one of their former coaches, Quincy Roche. There's going to be some hype around the game, and really we just need to go out there and mop the floor with them. I mean, we should. They're Temple.
I try not to get into, and even Old Takes Exposed a year ago got me because I put my predictions, on my Twitter page at John Michaels U. I have no shame in making predictions, in saying exactly what's on my mind. I don't give a damn about anybody out there other than my wife and my kids and a few of the people I'm closest with. So I'll talk trash about Miami the entire time. But I thought last year I looked at that schedule and go, that's 11-1. We'll slip somewhere because I didn't think they were good enough to go undefeated, but the schedule was trash. You look at the schedule this year, I think the three of us could get out there and line up at X, Z, and maybe one of us in the backfield and go win 9 or 10 games. Like, this schedule is horrible. So I'm starting to feel it again. I've already bought my season tickets. I was really trepidatious about buying season tickets, but man, I'm all in. How can I not be? April 2nd, I have another tattoo scheduled. I'm getting, and I forgot who made the tattoo or made the video, not the video, just the GIF and the picture that's got Sebastian wearing the 305 chain. Oh, that's going on my right calf, right above my U tattoo. I said, I'm back in. I'm 100% cocky Canes fan again. And it's only March 12th? I'm ready to go.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. You can't be like, yeah, like I was pissed off and mopey ass like after Louisiana Tech game, after the FIU game. But like once we hire Rhett Lashley, once we get some things going, what's the point in just being that typical depressed and negative Canes fan? Like, we should be excited about this team, and we have every reason to be excited about this team. We got our offensive coordinator, we got our quarterback. What are your thoughts on D'Eriq King?
It's funny. SB Nation originates out of Houston, so my producer on my nightly radio show is in Houston. He's a University of Houston grad. He just graduated like 3 years ago, so he's a younger guy. So he was there when Rhett Lashley went crazy a couple of years ago. Or not Rhett Lashley, excuse me, D'Eriq King went crazy a couple of years ago. So I've asked him, I said, what are we getting in D'Eriq King? He goes, dude, that'll be the best quarterback y'all have had in 20 years. He goes, D'Eriq can ball. He goes, think about it. First of all, he throws the ball really well. And people are going to look at his size, and he's probably closer to 5'9" than he is 5'11". But it doesn't matter. Because of his feet, D ends and D tackles can't just roar up the field and think, oh, we're going to get him. Because if you miss him, he steps up in the pocket and he's 20 yards downfield outrunning some of your linebackers and your defensive backs. I'm jacked that we have a quarterback. I really wanted Jaron to succeed. Jaron actually went to high school 5 minutes from my house. Like we're like 2 blocks from his school district. I know his high school coach really well. I had him on my radio show here in Atlanta multiple times. He told me Jaron was the dude, and we saw glimpses obviously against Louisville and at Florida State that he could be the dude. Whatever happened down there in between the ears for Jaron Williams just didn't work. I think part of it, Dan Enos was an ass clown, and he had to deal with that idiot day in and day out. But now you've got a guy that wants to prove everybody wrong in D'Eriq King. And what I really like about him, he wasn't playing with 5-star talent every year, yet they'd play Oklahoma and King would put up 300 yards passing, 100 yards rushing, and 4 touchdowns. What the hell is he going to do to Georgia Tech and Duke and all the candy-ass teams we have in the ACC? He should roll up some big points with them.
Bro, and after that Oklahoma game, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. What's the Sooners head coach name?
Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley said after that game, and Oklahoma won by 30, but he said there's not 5 quarterbacks in the country that are better than D'Eriq King. And like just like what you're saying, man, if this schedule and D'Eriq King's talent with our playmakers, I've been saying this, and you kind of just hinted towards it. I really think that we're about to see numbers put up by a Miami Hurricanes quarterback that, with his dual threat ability, I don't think we've ever seen at Miami. And that might be a little far fetched, but hey, I love the odds, and I love D'Eriq King as our quarterback.
We've never had a true dual threat quarterback. Jacory could move a little bit, but he was a pocket passer. Stephen Morris could move a little bit. He was a pocket passer. Brock Berlin could move a hair. He was a pocket passer. I'm trying to think of somebody, Kirby Freeman could move. He could run. He couldn't throw worth a damn.
He wasn't good.
No, he just wasn't good. Everybody else we've trotted out there, Brad Kaya was a statue back there. Malik Rozier could run. He just couldn't throw. Nkosi Perry can run. It doesn't seem like they want him to run. So now you have a guy that I think is going to give a dimension that we've never had. And, the offense is simplified, and I think guys are going to be in better shape. And watching some of the schemes that Dan Enos put together a year ago for the O-line, they had no chance of success. You've got your guard trying to kick out and get a defensive end who's in a wide 9 technique. Our guards were kind of hefty and out of shape. I'm going to call it like it is. You're not getting out there to make that block. You got a true freshman offensive tackle in Zion Nelson who had zero business being our starting left tackle, but you put him on an island against Florida, and Florida was laughing. We were both at that game. Florida's looking like we can tee off and get this guy anytime we want. And then I think what ended up happening throughout last year that becomes the most frustrating is I saw a team quit. And I've seen that, unfortunately, in the Canes a lot over the past 15 years. When the going gets tough, they fold like a cheap tent. And Miami, like I said, the Miami I grew up with, they'd be down 17, and I'd know good and damn well we were coming back to whoop your ass. Now, if they're down 7 early in the game, I go, uh-oh, we're in trouble. This is going to go from 7 to 21 quickly. So if there's something that Manny needs to work on this offseason outside of schematics and everything else, he's got to get the psyche back of Miami. And Marsh, it may have been you that wrote it that said Miami has to stop with this losing attitude. I couldn't agree more. There is a loser mentality down there that has to go away.
Yeah, I feel like along with kind of a loser mentality, we also got like a participation trophy mentality kind of going. I mean, after a horrible year, we do all those antics with with the wrestling dummies, and we have our wrestling night or whatever the hell that was, and then we do the yacht thing. We roll up on Florida State and crash their camp, and then we did nothing, and then our guys are bragging about it on Instagram after. Like that's a participation trophy mentality where it's like we're here. We wear a U on our helmet. There's a lot of history. Like I'm just happy to be here. That I can't.
And I was going to say that's the biggest problem. The guys that were there before were scared crapless of not having a job, so they knew I better work as hard as I possibly can, or I'm not getting on the field. My high school teammate played at Miami from 92 to 94 and never was a starter and never could become a starter. And he actually left early and went to the CFL and became a really quality kick returner there. But that competition was completely different. And you're spot on with the participation thing. I used to go off with Hockman and Crowder, and those are my guys. I love them. 2 of the funniest dudes you'll ever meet and talk to, and their radio show is fantastic. And I've always thanked them for giving me a voice with Miami, because up here they like to neuter me because it's dog country and it's Georgia Tech country. And I tell these yahoos, win a national title or shut the hell up. Stop talking to me about, coming close to Alabama. But not only is it the yacht thing, not only is it the tackling dummy, the touchdown rings, while the chain was cool and innovative, and it helped us go 10-0 to start the 2017 season, and it had a mystique about it. Once you changed it 2 different times and you had new iterations of it, it became less special. Now you put these touchdown rings, which in theory should be great, but you're not scoring points. And the indelible moment for me a year ago, they were down, 28-0 to Virginia Tech when Nkosi hits Mark Pope with the Hail Mary?
Yeah.
And you have Pope and Perry sprinting to the sideline to put on touchdown rings. And you're down 28-7, and the only thing you've done all first half is hit a Hail Mary. Then you have guys getting player of the game trophies and plaques after they lose. I see Jaron Williams, after you just lost to North Carolina, posting player of the game plaque. That's another issue Manny has. Cut all the Mickey Mouse BS. Get back to winning football games. Have accountability where you miss a practice, you don't play. You want to transfer and put your name in the portal? Get your ass off my campus and don't ever come back. I'm telling you, nothing against Cleveland Reed. There's no chance that guy would be on my football team.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, if you hit the portal, best of luck. But we're moving on, and I don't even want to sound off on that topic. But
I hope the touchdown rings are gone, man. And touching back on what we were saying, I think the pictures of Sheldrick Redwine and Malik Young, wearing the chain and the gifts and stuff, those kind of became a pop culture icon for college football. And I think that's what these kids are obsessed with now, is they're thinking they're thinking that their image will be some hit on Reddit or Twitter that, they'll kind of be immortalized through these pictures and through the Instagram stuff. not for what they do on the field, just for the fact that they're wearing these rings and this necklace. And I agree with you that it's lost its effectiveness and its luster. And I hope we get rid of everything. I mean, if we just went back to the original chain, I'd be fine with that. I hope we don't have a new one. I never want to